Standard C4.b says to design, develop, and implement technology rich professional learning programs that model principles of adult learning and promote digital age best practices in teaching, learning, and assessment. So, you'll find several different attachments on this standard for C4.b that prove that I have mastered this standard. One of the first things that I did for this standard was to create. A 5 why process chart, thinking through a problem that I wanted to attack in my classroom. So I chose that students don't know their math fact fluency, and I talked about why that does or doesn't happen, and then continued to feed off of that until I got to the last thought, which was that students feel rushed and are involved in many other activities, such as church and sports during the weeknights. So, after taking a look and having my problem identification, I ended up creating um, a project. Let's see if it will open up here. And this is my IRB that is done on fact fluency practice at home. And we got to come up with a research project based on the problem identification 5 process chart that we filled out. So I was interested in discovering a new fact fluency program that worked at home and came up with how this research would work. I wanted to have students take a look at the math fact program Extra Math and wanted them to complete a survey about it as well as parents. Um, and I wanted to know whether students were able to gain fact fluency through nightly practice with this program. And so this IRB shows the project design and the methods behind um, the research for Extra Math. And it also really is related to C4A because in C4A, I was able to complete a formal review of research, which, as you know, is where you look at various research that has been done on a topic and then create summary. So, based on what I wanted to do my IRB on, I had to do some formal research of programs that were working and were not working for fact fluency. And I found that there was a program called Times Attack that had really good reviews. And I really wanted to look at whether Extra Math would be more beneficial or Times Attack. So my RIB was a great opportunity for me to be designing and developing a program and a research position to look at that more in depth. Another thing that we did to meet this standard was to actually design our own mock site for distance education. So I you can click on the link and it will take you directly to the site. I also have a video that I have created for your convenience that will take you on a brief 2.5 minute tour of the website that I created. So I'll show you a brief look at this. Good morning. Welcome to my course overview. This is the course I created for third grade area and perimeter. I am currently in a student preview mode. So when students first come to the course, they will see a welcome message, little overview of the course, as well as policies and expectations. The policies and expectations just give students a little more information about when I'm going to be responding, which is within. And so this goes on to show you different types of parts of my site for students to use. And this was a great learning opportunity for me as a teacher because we are currently in the middle of a pandemic where we are doing online learning. And so being able to learn how to create my own site and to really think about the accessibility side of things and what students need to access and what is beneficial for them, as well as for me, the teacher, and some inside tips that I could share with my colleagues was really special to me for this presentation. So I go on and talk about the accommodations. I talk about all of the different weeks and how they're laid out, the standards that we met, and then actually showed the students where to find the materials that they would need to complete the activities listed on this site. So you can watch that video, it's attached below. And the other part that goes along with this standard was actually taking the time to do an evaluation of my site. So I did a self-assessment, but I also was partnered up with one of my peers, which was neat because we got to see that collaboration tool where he was reviewing my site, I reviewed his, and I looked at things like the course overview, learning objectives, the assessment measurement tools, instructional materials, course activities, learner interaction, course technology, learner support, and then the accessibility and usability. And after looking at all of those things, I was able to share my feedback with him on his site so that we could both make any adjustments or improvements that we needed to make. So, by doing our course evaluation, by looking at creating my own site, by making my own research project through an IRB, I feel like I definitely have been able to design, develop, and implement technology rich professional learning programs that also promote digital age best practices in teaching, learning, and assessment.